Even physiologically things will happen to you. If nobody had told you, you would be happily eating the yogurt. But now the revulsion is so deep and he couldn't handle it. So what you call as culture is just memory. What you call as civilization is just memory. Memory is not useless, memory is useful. But if you do not know how to keep it aside, that becomes your biggest bondage, because life becomes repetitive. When you're repetitive, you cannot be receptive. Receptivity happens because you kept your repetitiveness aside. If you can become primal, not primitive, primal, but conscious, oblivious of who you are, what you are, your civilization, your culture, your nonsense, your God, your devil, everything. If you can be oblivious of everything that you think you are, after all, it's just a thought. Whatever you think about yourself is just a thought, isn't it? No? No, I'm an Indian, it's just a thought. If we erase your memory and push you across the border, you will be shooting at us tomorrow. Isn't it? This has been done in so many ways, in the form of religion, in the form of education, in the form of all kinds of teachings, to psych you to believe that you're something. Now scientists are coming up with more surefire, quicker, easier ways of doing things. Isn't it so? It's already been done. But in future, it will so happen that we can make an electronic chip which tells you you're an Indian, you're a Hindu, you're this, you're that, whatever you like, you can program it, put it inside. Only the best thing is, you can pull out the chip and meditate. That'll be the only great thing about technology. So everything that you should be, a chip is put inside and you will behave like a perfect Indian, because your whole culture is programmed in a small chip. Nobody, your parents don't have to strive with half-baked knowledge how to make you a proper Hindu or a proper Christian or a proper Muslim. Just buy the Hindu chip. You think, feel and act like one. But if it is not implanted in the brain, if it's an external attachment, it'll be a good thing because you could take it off and sit. Now you're unable to take it off, that's the whole problem. There are various stories to indicate the nature of what this is. There are so many stories as to how people always thought Shiva was so uncouth, uncivilized, uncultured, without any lineage, does not belong to any caste or creed. People thought he's no good because he doesn't have a lineage. If you ask him, who is your father, he doesn't know. And he's uncouth. But they couldn't help worshipping him because he's intense. But nothing civilized about him, nothing at all. His friends were worse. He kept such friendship with all kinds of demons and goblins and distorted beings, that people saw him as a very uncivilized, uncouth, uncultured man. So Parvati fell in love with Shiva and she wants to marry him. She's a princess. Her parents have not seen him. On the day of the wedding, he arrives. All the guests came, all the kings and queens and gods and goddesses, everybody arrived in procession, one more beautiful than the other, all dressed up. But then Shiva came, naked, ash-smeared, inebriated. Nobody knew what he's drunk upon. But he was inebriated and all his friends were inebriated. They came. Parvati's mother, Meena, she saw, said, "What? You are going to marry this man?" And she fainted. She could not imagine handing over her daughter to this man. And later on the wedding ceremony, they sat down and at the time of like in India, when the wedding happens, people talk about the lineage of the family. The girl comes from a great lineage, her father is a king, so many wonderful things were said. Then they asked, what about the groom's lineage? What is his gotram? What is his nakshatram? And under what star was he born? He simply sat silent. They asked him, "Please tell us, because your parents are not here, you must at least tell your parents, your lineage, what family you come from, what caste, what creed, at least what star you're born under." They repeatedly asked him. He said nothing, simply sat. Almost uninterested in the wedding. Then Narada came in to save the situation. Why I'm telling you this is, when we talk about Shiva, we are not talking about a nice civilized man. He's as beautiful as life can be. But as life is, today it is a little cloudy, tomorrow it could be pouring, day after tomorrow it could be burning. It's just like that, just like life. Not just like life, he's just life. He's not a pretension, he's not repetitive in any way, he's simply life. What are you? What are you? What somebody taught you. Every single thought, emotion, action is the way somebody taught you. Only if you're here as life, we can make you grow, we can make you blossom. If you're here as a bundle of memory that you picked up from somebody, all half-baked people. If you're just a bundle of memory, then what's there to do? Let me add a few more tidbits to your memory bag. Wherever I go, particularly the more educated the crowds are, the more they want to write down. I say, don't write down, just be with me. No, we've already seen your face, we remember. We want to write down what you say. In so many ways I tell them, don't bother, just be. Because you won't get anything by writing down the words. All you will do is you'll have to buy a new memory stick after some time. So many things are being told. And they won't make any sense after some time because I'm not trying to say anything at all. So the process of what you call as spiritual is not a psychological process. Your memory has nothing to do with it. It's a life process, it's an existential process. This can only happen if you allow yourself to be just a piece of life that you are. To do this, we do many things here and you might have seen people in the ashram walking around with those orange tags. You've seen the silence tags people are wearing. Just shut up. Because shutting your mouth is only half the job. To become silent is possible only when you do not think much of yourself. If you think something about yourself, if you think, I'm smart, how can you shut up? You tell me. If you think, I'm smart, how can you shut up? If you realize that you're actually stupid, you don't know anything in this existence, then, isn't it? Then you can simply look at life with great sense of wonder, without a thought appearing in your mind. If you think you're smart about everything, you got explanations and calculations and nonsense going on in your head. If you see one thing, 1,000 thoughts will go off, isn't it? You're not sitting here in the satsang totally silent. You're agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, making comments within yourself, making comments about the clothes that somebody is wearing next to you, appreciating it, depreciating it. Everything is happening. Am I wrong? Because the moment you think there is some value to what you think, then you can't stop it. No way to stop it. It'll just go on and on and on. When you see there is absolutely no life value to your thought process, it is just memory recycling itself. It is just the same old nonsense recycling itself. But if you're excited, if you're enamored by this recycle, if you think it's great, you cannot stop it. If you see the patterns of what it is, if you see the stupidity of what it is, then slowly you will distance yourself and it'll collapse. Because without attention, it cannot go on.
Namaste Sadhguru. A month back, my mother passed away, 15th of March, and the rituals I was involved with. I come from Andhra Pradesh, and in our community, Brahmins, it is so long, sometimes they're very painful. I don't know what is the meaning of it, and if one doesn't do, it's not considered nice. I have done all those things, but I was not very convinced with what I have done. That really was paining me.
Convinced about what?
Convinced about what all I was asked to go through. When I asked why I am asked to do, I was not given any explanation. Each point, there was lots of variants.
Whoever conducted all this, did you pay them or did you run away here?
What all they demanded,
you paid them, then the job is done.
Yeah.
No problem.
I had done that.
There are different types of professions. Everybody has to live in this world.
True. only on that consideration, whatever I asked whatever they asked without, I simply paid all of it. The point is, every month we are expected to do the same thing. I would definitely do that. But I'm not convinced with what they have done.
Villains. Mother died, that's bad enough. For you, your mother died. It's a big thing. But you need to understand, somebody's mother is not dead, they have to live. Their mother, their wife, their children, they all have to live. So, we complicated these things in so many ways. At the same time, is there no basis at all to this? No, there is a basis. It is unfortunately over a period of time, people distort it and exaggerate things in such a way that it just becomes commerce. You feel that somebody is making a business out of your mother's death, you feel angry about it, frustrated about it. But this is a perpetual business, whatever meltdown happens, people will continue to die. Such an opportunity when it's there, how to let it go? It's a perpetual business. And so many people did not treat their mothers well when they were alive. At least for those 12 days or 13 days, they want to do something to feel psychologically free from that. And compared to the fees that the psychiatrists charge these days, this is not much. They're still only asking for cupfuls of rice, cupfuls of grams, cupfuls of nuts and this and that. Maybe they asked you for a cow. Footwear, umbrella, milk, umbrella. See, your dead mother definitely cannot use the umbrella, nor does she need the umbrella, isn't it? If you did not have a body, we would have had the satsang outside now, isn't it? Only because you have a body, it gets soaked, it gets sick, all these problems. If you did not have a body, we could have just continued the satsang outside, isn't it? Only because you have a body, you need a roof. Where there is no roof, you need an umbrella. Footwear also, the same thing, head or foot, same problems. But there is somebody else living who needs all these things. Long time ago, there were some people who could do a genuine job on these things. When a person dies, there are many ways to die. Not everybody dies the same way. Not everybody lives the same way. Not everybody dies the same way. When I say not everybody lives the same way, last 3 days, all of you are getting up at the same time, all of you eating the same food, all of you going through the same things,
But still not all of you are living the same way, even in these 3 days.